Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, as we tick down the list of decks that can be rotation proofed, we're playing Golgari Poison. That's a bunch of toxic dudes that just get toxicer the more the game goes on. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, the tertiary adjunct to Unimatrix Zero, Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by arstall. Let's see, this thing is called Golgari Poison, the Meta Breaker Week 10 OTJ. And the deal was that I was looking for something to play, something we could do that would be rotation proof, and I was playing something. I don't know. I think it was Gruul or something. And then I got my booty kicked by a Ghoul Poison deck. And I said, you know what I think it's going to do? I think that Ghoul Poison is a good rotation-proof deck. And so that's what we're going to play today. We're playing Ghoul Poison. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards that are in this deck. We're going to talk a little bit how the deck should work. And then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here today? We got Creature Kill. We got causing a fight or go and get some lands. We got a dude that whenever a creature you control becomes targeted, an opponent gets a poison counter, and he's got some toxicity himself. Toxic and proliferate, creature kill, makes your guys two more toxic levels higher, and when they die, they immediately come back to the battlefield under your control. Toxic 1 and flying, Toxic 1 and trample, and then whenever it deals combat damage to the player, you proliferate. So that's an extra toxic. Toxic and death touch. What does this do? Toxic 2, and then for 3, each creature you control gains Toxic 1. So that's an additional 1, right? That just adds on to what they're currently doing. This guy's got Toxic 3, and you can proliferate if you pay another additional 2 to put him out, making it like 6 total. And this guy, just whenever a creature with toxic deals combat damage to the player, they get an additional poison counter. So it's essentially giving everybody an additional toxic on top of that. Plus, you can give all your toxic dudes death touch, right? Well, one guy, death touch, right? For 3. And then regular lands, and even cut a Bolt's Forest and Swamp. So what are we going to do with this thing? We're going to control the board a tiny bit. We got some death touch to do some awesome stuff to some dudes. But other than that, we're just going to go crazy on trying to deliver poison as fast as we can to the nervous system of our opponent. These guys over here, 4, are quite interesting and apparently new to me, who hasn't really been paying attention to them for apparently, I don't know, what, a year and a half or something that these guys have been around for. But there they are, looking all awesome, sitting there at 4. All right, that's it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to just get out there and poison it up like crazy. Now, before we do that, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we are playing against the SheepTheShepherd. No, what is this? I'm going to give up on here. The expensive guy, let's do that. All right, number 2 goes for the rat. His death means a proliferate. Number 3, let's get out the Bloated Contaminator. Just raking it in. Of course, when he dies, it's going to do nothing. All right, cool. Let's go get him. There we go. Let's pay like 6 to get this guy to proliferate. You're going to waste 2 of those things? All right, we're up to 6. I see, so he didn't have 2 of those things. He's pulling what I do all the time, where I just assume he can kill anything. All right, there's 8. One more. I just got to keep at least one of these guys alive. He's desperate. Hoping that he doesn't have any mana left. And we win! And we did it in damage. We killed him 2 ways at the same time. It was glorious. Victory! Alright, we are playing against Dr. Blue Collins. Dr. Blue Collins, 86. Keep. Venerated Rotpriest. Question is, do I wait until I can put this die out on him? And that's probably a good idea. So let's just put out the black first. We get up to 3, we can play them both at the same time. We're playing against the same stupid deck. Alright, next turn. We'll see if my vicious strategy pays dividends. Suck it! Alright, there we go. Now, I can't attack with them or anything. I can, it's just that then he'll die immediately. Nice! Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's do it again. It was so cool. And in we go. Bushwhack, huh? I don't know if anybody's willing to fight anybody else, so we'll just hold on to it. Alright, he's up to 6. That's looking great. Ooh, gains Death Touch. Excellent. Let's get him out there. There's nothing I could do. I don't know what Bushwhack's in here for. Alright, if you want to touch my guys, you're going to have to pay the price. Looked like you were trying to board wipe or something kooky like that. Alright, there's like a billion. There you go. That was a hot beef injection of poison, wasn't it? Victory! Alright, we are playing against carocs. Carocs. Crocs. He likes to wear Crocs. 3 mana. We got some stuff. Alright, nothing to do for 1, so 2 is going to be our magic number. That guy's a jerk. There's a lot of little jerks. Let's just get out there. Need to get a board presence. We knee deep in tokens, man. He wants to get out. We'll go for the 4/4. He wants to get out World Leader's Call is what he wants. Alright, let's start wiping the board a little bit. You could do one at a time if you want. Nope, you're just gonna suck it. That's a lot of extra damage, man. Alright, he's up to 5. That's good. Is he coming at me, brah? There's nothing worth killing. This is where he's going to get out the big boy. He'll jump everybody up. There he is. And I win. I say I don't die right then. That's what's really nice about that whole situation. And that's the end of it. Winner, winner, victory dinner. We are playing against Thraxnatius. Thraxnatius. Welcome to the board. Hopefully he'll not be presented with any sort of defense. That'd be fantastic. Yes. Put out number 2. And we go. Alright, we have the ability to kill something. Whatever he puts out next. As long as it doesn't have too big of a butt. Welcome in as a 5, or as a 5 or less there. In your face, suckerfish. Alright, nothing I can do but just keep bouncing in. Alright, he's going to want to mono red me like crazy here. Would be great if you pump that thing. I could just kill it. Alright, that's not the thing you're pumping. We'll wait till next turn. Nice. Go get him. Alright, he's up to 7. Okay, with 4 mana and red, he could probably go to town, but I'm just going to try to lay them all out, huh? He just has guys. Well, he has the ability to pump up one, which will affect a lot of them because a lot of them have prowess. Who am I blocking here? Just gotta like keep the big damage back. Great, we're all cool. Alright, nobody's there. Let's just go in. Alright, that's enough to kill him off. We are done! Touchdown! Lava Bears! Alright, we're playing against Kray. Alright, we'll keep this. What have we got, though? Let's get rid of this. We can't seem to get to 4. That seems to be a big problem for us. Alright, so the deal is we can keep one guy alive. Let's just pretend we can't, since we seem to be doing okay. He's just sucking it. Good for him. Alright, this is where he's going to go for the kill. Alright, that is nice. We got him up to 7, which means we got lethal next turn, provided we can keep these guys alive. Which we have 0 control over. And that's it. I guess I had lethal all alone. Beautiful. Victory! Alright, we are playing with Golgari Poison here. And it was pretty decent. I ended up getting 57% out of it. It wasn't as crazy aggressive as I had hoped it would be. I mean, you put out a lot of creatures, but I don't know. I was playing against a lot of creature kill tonight. And they just kept killing my dudes one after another. So it wasn't as great as I'd hoped, but still, I mean, it pulled it together. You know, every other game you would win. Every other game you would lose. The question is whether the fight was going okay or not. I can tell you the big thing I felt is like I didn't have enough black creature control. Between I had go for the throat and cut down, and that was it. That was it. I mean, you kind of had a little bit from Bushwhack as well. But you had to pretty much sacrifice your Basilisk for that situation. And I didn't particularly care for that either. All right, though, let's get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I can tell you the one that I really appreciated the most. It was Necrogen Communion. That card was the bee's knees. The reason why is because it added 2 additional toxic to whatever I was dealing with, and then when it died, it just returned it back from the battlefield, back to the battlefield under my control. Sure, you lost the extra 2 toxic, but your dude lived. So you could put it on your Venerated Rotpriest, you put it on the flying guy. That or the guy with trample, and you can be guaranteed to get those extra points in to get things nice and killing when they needed to be. I never played with the Rotpriest before. He was pretty cool. He just gives you guys the toxic there. Oh, but it does get the additional point of damage on there. The other guy I was liking was the Plague Nurse, because it also gives the extra point of toxic as well. So between the two, this guy does it automatically. This guy you have to pay for. I kept forgetting about that because I know that the 3 mana you have to do there just gives them Death Touch. Still, they were great as far as adding on, but the one that really worked out best was Necrogen Communion just because of how cheap it was and how versatile it was. All right, so Necrogen Communion, you are going to Disneyland. Congratulations. Let's see. Was this deck competitive? 57%. Yes, barely. Yes, barely, right? I mean, I kind of felt like this deck should have done better. I believe we could have done better. Maybe we need to mess around a little bit. It's a rotation-proof deck. It's a good place to start. We'll see what comes out in the next set that might help it out. You got to take away something from here, though. I'm not really sure what that should be. Maybe the Brutalizer. He was all right, but he just was expensive. 4 ended up being really expensive, the deck. Especially since you're only playing with 22 mana sources right there. And nothing else. So 4 was really kind of hard to get to. So, was it competitive, though? Just barely. Just barely. Was this deck fun? When it worked, it was. It liked to just kind of suck up all on 1 mana, and then you have to mulligan to try to get to 2 different kinds of mana. That was rough. You end up with a lot of little tiny dudes. Sometimes you end up where you couldn't have any dudes. You only had 3s and 4s, and you couldn't do anything at first. It seemed off balance, like it was hard for some reason. Still, when it did come together, and it had a nice curve to it, it was a great deck. It was fun to play. People they couldn't handle it. The toxicity mean you only had to do half as much damage as you would normally, and this had the good way of maximizing the amount of toxicity you were dealing at a time. So altogether, yeah, it could be a fun deck. It could be. Lastly, was it interesting? I mean, playing a toxic deck at this point seemed kind of lame. It was like, well, we're playing that again. The thing is, though, I haven't seen Ichorspit Basilisk. I had never seen him before. Why hasn't anybody been playing him? I thought he was pretty kick-ass. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen this Rotpriest. I haven't seen the Venomous Brutalizer. I hadn't seen the Plague Nurse. So to me, it was like I got 4 brand new cards I'd never seen before. So to me, yeah, it was an interesting deck because I thought those guys were pretty interesting to play with. It was decent. It felt like I was playing zombies, right? That's the kind of the kind of victories you should expect. Yeah, you could eventually get a lot of good stuff going on, but zombies a lot of times it's just creatures. You don't have a lot of control. You're just hoping to swarm them. In this case, you're just hoping to get enough poison out there fast enough that you can kill them before they can do anything about it. Yep. So that's it. There's not enough tricks. It's not a tricksy deck. It's more or less just, I'm getting some dudes out, deal with it. Problem is right now, a lot of people can deal with it. That's where that 50% win rate comes from. All right, so there you go. Golgari Poison. Let's add that up. We've got it slightly competitive, fun most of the time, and interesting if you squint at it a little bit. So I'm going to give this deck, I'm going to give it an A-. That 57% left a bad taste in my mouth. I know that's a great number for the general meta, but when I'm only playing this thing 10 times, that's not a great number. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to give it an A-. All right, A- deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.